Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope y'all can see and hear us clearly. Meiyoko and I are so excited to be here, guys. We got another great conversation to talk about. I don't really like to call them topics. At night, yes. I don't like to call them topics. I like to call them conversations because this is a great show for you guys to come on and ask your questions and state your point of view about our conversations and different topics that we talk about and really get involved in what we're doing. So yes, we're doing a nighttime show, right? So we're going to see how that works and see if y'all, really show up and things like that. But we're going to, stick to our 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But, we want to, every now and again, we want to pop in on y'all unexpectedly, right? So thank you guys so much for hopping on. And for those of you who are tuning in on the replay, Meiyoko, I have to say we have a lot of replay viewers that come on and watch the replay. So we appreciate you guys. And if that's you, go ahead and type in hashtag
thank you so much.
Replay. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. So I was talking to Meiyoko yesterday. Meiyoko and I were talking. I was telling him, I do other shows and things like that. And I read the comments. I listen to what people are saying. And a lot of y'all struggle with confidence, right? Mm-hmm. And we all, Meiyoko and I included, right? We're not exempt from this. We struggle with confidence along our entrepreneurial journey. And the confidence I feel, me personally, I don't know how you feel about it, Meiyoko, is always a work in progress, right? You're never going to reach that perfect plateau of full-on confidence because as you elevate in your business, right, it expects a different level of attention and dedication and sacrifice and struggle and challenges and all those things sort of taint your confidence every now and again. It's always good to come back to these conversations. So what I want y'all to do, those of you who are watching this a year from now, 5 years from now, let this video be something you go back to as you elevate in every level in your business. To come back to this video so you can get that rejuvenation and say, hey, I'm now at this level in my business. Let me go watch this video. And now I can get that rejuvenation back and get my confidence back and what have you. So what do you feel? What are your thoughts on that, Meiyoko?
I think confidence is one of those things that, like you said, it changes in different stages of your life. Like if you're out of your comfort zone, you're not going to be confident about that just yet. So confidence is something that you have to consistently build and maintain because there can be obstacles and things that happen in your life to shake your confidence. So your confidence may not be as strong as it was then. So I think confidence is a continuous thing. You have to continue to work on it. As you get out of your comfort zone, you may lack a little bit of confidence, but as you start to manage this new normal, this new level of comfort, then you start to build confidence. And then it's like a repeating cycle, but you have to continue to consistently do things to maintain your confidence. So that's first and foremost. Confidence is not one permanent end all be all thing. You're consistently working on building confidence and increasing confidence because life always gives us different situations and scenarios that may affect our confidence. So that's my take on that.
That's right. And I'm sorry, it looks like my internet is going in and out. So I'm actually switching routers right now. But while I'm doing that, let's go ahead and go into the first point for tonight is why imposter syndrome keeps your business playing small, right? I've dealt with that in my business a long time ago where I was showing up consistently. I was doing all the things I need to do, but I was playing small because I was questioning why I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, I never forget this. I was asked to speak in Florida one year, and I remember being in my room, beautiful room I was in. Oh my God. And it's had this tall mirror, and I sat on the floor and I was like, what the heck am I doing here? You know what I mean? Like I was literally like questioning why I questioned why I got on the plane, why I stepped into this house to do this speaking engagement, and I just kept self-sabotaging, just imposter syndrome. And then I just went out and show up and did what I did. But people think that that feeling goes away once you arrive, and it really doesn't sometimes. So you got to manage it, you got to control it, because so many people go through that same thing, Meiyoko, and they turn around and get back on that plane and say, no, I'm not ready.
Right.
Even though they have all the qualifications, everything, they feel they're not ready. Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna have a conversation about this first one. And the thing that makes us different, me and Tanisha different, sometimes we go over these conversations before we record, and sometimes we don't. And this is the fun thing about it, because imposter syndrome is something that I do not believe in. uh, Imposter syndrome, um, the feeling of imposter syndrome is very real. But in technical terms, it's just you feel like you don't belong, you're not yourself. You feel like somebody's gonna find you out, like you're a fraud, all those types of things. And we label it imposter syndrome. I'm picking on you, Leticia, just a little bit. I'm picking on you. But the thing about imposter syndrome, usually when we feel that feeling of feeling like a fraud and feeling like we're going to be found out and like we're not good enough, type of thing, it's usually a misalignment. And it's a misalignment. Sometimes it's a misalignment from purpose. It's a misalignment of confidence. It's a misalignment of just clarity at times, because I've struggled with that, many years ago, being invited to speak at events or being invited to coach someone that I felt was more successful than I was at the time. And I didn't feel like I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to coach that individual. And the reason is because I really wasn't really completely aligned with what I felt like I was supposed to be doing at the time. So when we talk about imposter syndrome, it's usually a misalignment of something, and it's marketed and advertised as this super big, huge, insurmountable thing that you can't overcome or you can't conquer. So when you think about imposter syndrome, it's a misalignment. It's either a misalignment of purpose. So for example, there are some people that are in careers or starting businesses that they're not passionate about, right? So that's a misalignment. So what happens is over a period of time, they may feel out of place, right? So it's a misalignment of purpose. So there's also misalignment of, you know, um, misalignment of ability. Like you don't feel like you have the skill set or the expertise to actually fulfill a particular task. I also fell in that lane as well. I was coaching somebody that in my mind was a lot more successful than me, and I felt like I needed more skills, which in fact I really didn't, because I had the experience, I had the results, and I had the expertise to do so. But because I looked at it as me not having the experience, again, I felt out of place. So that's kind of how imposter syndrome works. Excuse me, everybody. That's how imposter syndrome works. So when you're out of alignment with these particular things about yourself, that's what we call imposter syndrome. You feel like you're out of yourself. You feel like you don't deserve it. You feel like somebody else should be doing it. You feel that whole I feel like a fraud type of thing. So it's all due to misalignment, and it's easily fixable.
Right, right, right. Am I coming through clear?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay, thanks. I'm so sorry about that. Very sorry about that. I mean, those are all great points. And like, don't worry. I'm fine with being picked on, because again, those are real. I mean, all
Oh,
of
I'm
us,
just messing with you.
no, all of us misconstrue that. I mean, because that's what we get told. That's the learned behavior that we have, because, you know, you know, confidence, like I said, it's an ongoing progress. It's just an ongoing thing that we all have to build on. And I like how you frame the sabotage, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, and all those things. That's really, really good. It brings me to the next point, which is, you know, align your personal brand based on who you are, not on external validation. I don't know
Right.
why. I mean, I want you to say that word again that you said. It was probably like maybe 2 or 3 shows ago where you talked about what is validation. Can you share that again? with the
Oh,
audience.
validation. It's crazy because I have a different definition every time somebody asks
Every
me it.
time you was talking about
Mm.
validation is when you are validating your car, like you're
Oh, that
yeah,
statement.
yes.
Oh, yes. So okay,
It
so
was that good.
the
Yes,
only
yes,
validation is something you do with your parking.
yeah.
Validation has nothing to do with who you are as a human being.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Validation, we validate our parking. We don't validate
Hmm.
people.
Hmm.
So I think when it comes to external validation, this is your personal brand. This is about your value, your missions, your beliefs, your principles. This should be integrated into everything that you do. If you try to build that based on trying to be liked, trying to be
Hmm.
admired, trying to worry about what everybody else thinks,
That's right.
trying to gain approval for someone or something, what's going to happen is something in your brand is not going to work.
Hmm.
Remember, it's still there's a business aspect to it, right? Something is not going to work, and what you're going to do is you're going to personalize it. Somebody
Right.
may present you with a comment. You may put out a post and you don't have as many likes or comments as you like. Then you're going to start to personalize that,
Hmm.
and you're going to think, oh, it's because my service isn't good enough. I need to go back to the drawing board. Nobody knows, likes, and trusts me. All these particular things are going to be spinning in your head. And it's
Hmm.
because you're trying to create a brand based on what you think everybody else wants,
Hmm.
not based on who you are, what you stand for, what
Hmm.
you're best at,
Hmm.
and the value you're trying to give to your audience.
Hmm.
And so many people build personal brands based on external validation. And
Hmm.
there's something we call the validation loop. I won't get into it, but the
Right.
validation loop is most of your top performers, like you listening, you're stuck in some type of validation loop.
Hmm.
Whether it's, and I got to bring this up because me and Leticia, she's probably going to laugh. For example, some people say if I only can just get that 2 Comma Club award,
Mm.
I can just go
Yep.
on stage and get that plaque and that that little record spinning and says
Yep.
I made $1 million in my business. That'll validate me. I've made it. And then when they get that,
Hmm.
and it's just like, okay, I don't feel any different.
Right. Right.
I didn't solve my problem.
Right. Right.
So a lot of us are stuck in, for some reason, we're excelling and we're performing at a high level, but oftentimes it's because we're looking for some form of validation once we accomplish a goal. So if you're creating your personal brand based on that, you're going to fail every single time.
Hmm.
That is not how you craft a personal brand or a signature brand.
Right.
Again, it's based on who you are, your values, your beliefs, your principles, your expertise, and the value you want to bring to your audience. That's
Right.
what your personal brand is based on. It
Hmm.
is 100% you.
Hmm.
It's not anything that some guru tried to tell you to create.
Hmm.
It's not from an external source. It is
Hmm.
100% internal. It's you in a personified form.
Hmm.
That's what your personal brand is. So, for example, me, for example, like you may see something based on mindset coaching or something on transformational coaching, and you
Hmm.
may automatically say, "Hey, you know what? That's something Meiyoko would say."
Right. Right.
So
Right.
now, what you're starting to see is in my content,
Hmm.
you're starting to get an extension of who I am,
Hmm.
parts of pieces of me, parts of who I am. I'm not looking for validation for anybody when I post. I am sharing what I've learned and I'm sharing what I know can help someone else. And it also helps me at the same time. So at the end of the night, I sleep very well. I don't care about who likes my comments. I mean, my post. I don't care who comments on my post. It can be one person that likes my sends that like button, one person that comments, but then you have two people in your DMs trying to that say, you know what, that post resonated with me. How do I work with you? So,
Absolutely.
so external validation causes you to focus on likes and comments. Aligning your personal brand causes people to focus on how they can work with you and how they can be a part of your world. That's the
That's right.
difference.
That is because if that's what you're doing it for, you're not going to last. I know a
No,
lot of
not at all.
people that decided to quit their businesses or decide to do something else because they were not getting the engagement and the attention. Or even I've had a client once in the past, she had a group that had over 20,000 people in the group, Meiyoko. She
Mhm.
wanted to delete the group because it wasn't engaged, it wasn't enough engagement. I'm like, oh my God, like you're crazy. No. So if you're focusing just on that, you're gonna not be in this for the long haul. You're not
Mhm.
going to be in it. Just like you said, Meiyoko, we're not posting. I don't post. You don't post just for to get likes and comments. We do it because it's something that we things that we want to share, things that we want to talk about. And I find a lot of times, Meiyoko, a lot of people who are finally start to join or sign up or register or whatever it is you're offering are the silent watchers, the ones that don't
Absolutely.
comment, don't like, don't
Absolutely.
engage. But all of a sudden you go onto your website, you see a sale came through. You know, even with our tour, there was a couple of people, I ain't gonna name no names. I was surprised, like, oh, they signed up, you know what I'm saying? Because they never
Right.
talk, they never say anything. They never,
Right.
I rarely see their names pop up when we on this show. So and it's a blessing.
Right.
It's a real blessing, you
Because,
know?
because here's the thing. This is what I want everybody to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Likes and comments are seen by everybody.
Everybody. Yes.
That's not a safe space for some people.
Mm. Especially
DMs
what we
are
talk about.
right. So, but DMs are a safe space.
It is.
That's a way for somebody to raise their hand and directly talk to you and say, hey,
Yes.
that last post on mental health or self-confidence that really affected me because I'm going through something personally in my life right now,
Yeah.
and you hit the nail on the head and I need help.
Right.
How can I set up an appointment and inquire about working with you?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to put that on a post.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to
100%.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to be able to get that type of response if you're trying to build a personal brand on external validation.
That's right. That's right.
Because
Yeah,
it's
that
not,
yeah.
but I was going to say, it's not about getting people to like you. It's about
Mm-hmm.
showing them that you can solve a problem
That's right.
that they have
Yeah. Yeah.
in the
Yep.
most
And
efficient way possible.
right.
And still
Right.
be yourself. And still be
And
yourself
still be
though.
yourself 100%. And I believe that timing is everything. And when somebody's
Absolutely.
ready to work with you, the right time is going to be the right time, but you got to be present. You got to still be out there. You still got to post, go live, share great content, because timing is everything for
You're a
people.
perfect
And when
example
it's
of
their
that.
time, yeah, oh my god. I wasn't even thinking about me when I said that, but now as we okay, let's move on to the next point. Point number 3 is change your mindset to move from undervalued to undeniable.
Undeniable.
Right? So it goes back to what we said earlier. Stop waiting for external validation. Start honoring internal evidence.
Right.
Right? Your evidence inside. You're capable. You conquered so much. Now I'm talking to myself. You know what I mean? Like, you can get out there and share so much with the world and become that undeniable person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like with that too, it's like we don't track our wins. I think we
Yes.
said that. I think I said this in the last live stream. Like not the last one, but the one before.
Mm-hmm.
We never track our wins. Like we get these
Mm-hmm.
little wins and we're still focused on the big goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little wins focus on the big goals. There's a lot of things, the small wins, they tell us like, and if I want to use the word,
Mm-hmm.
they validate our work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now notice I said they validate our work.
Work.
I didn't
Yes.
say they validated us.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
The difference. So it gives people results and that gives you that credibility from your work. We're all doing it. I can guarantee you, those of you watching this right now, some of you don't collect testimonials, whether it's people in the DM singing your praises, whether it's sessions that you have with people, whether it's them purchasing a product and they absolutely love it, can't get enough of it. Document the wins, document all of it, everything, the videos, the text messages, what else? Whatever they send in,
Mm-hmm.
anything that
Mm-hmm.
shows that they
Comments.
are pleased with the
Comments.
result,
Yeah.
comments, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Document that, because what that's going to do is that validates your product.
Yeah.
It
Forever.
validates your service,
Yeah. It don't
right?
matter if it's
Forever,
10 years from
right?
now.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
So look at those particular things, because we all have there can be internal battles and limiting beliefs that you're going through.
Correct.
But the thing about it is you cannot deny tangible proof
Mm-hmm.
that your product or service is making a difference in someo's life
That's
if
right.
they are telling you this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you got to ask people like, hey, can I get a testimonial?
Mm-hmm.
Think of my service? What did you think of my product?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to psychologically play on you and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
what I do is valuable. What I provide is
Mm-hmm.
valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
those limiting beliefs, so they'll quiet down a little bit.
That's right.
And the more confidence you get in your service or your product, the more you start to sell, the more people start to gravitate to you.
That's right.
Confidence is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
It
100%.
is. So that's how you shift your mindset. Focus on the tangible proof
Mm-hmm.
that your product, service, or result is making a difference in your customers and your audience's lives.
Right. Right.
You change your mindset.
I can honestly say what stopped me a lot of times from doing that is always other people saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be here." So
Ah,
sometimes even with all those testimonials and all that, we sometimes don't post those things because of that. But that's wrong.
the validation
Everything
loop.
you mentioned, yes, everything you mentioned is correct. Still do that anyway because you can build off of that. Because testimonials to sell, a recognition, somebody recognizing you. I was in a article just recently, but with my church, recognition is important. That you put a footprint in somebody's life or an organization that
Mhm.
should be talked about and shared. Because a lot of people don't know what you do until you say it. A lot of people don't know how you impacted the world unless you show it. They're just not going to assume. So I even tell people, even if it's something that somebody sent you 10 years ago, put it out there. It's still relevant. They spent the time and energy and effort to do that. Even for myself, I have tons of videos that y'all haven't even seen yet of people giving me praises of how I impacted them. So those things are important. Don't stop yourself from doing it. I used to say, Meiyoko, I know it sounds silly. I used to feel like I don't want to post that also because I felt like I was bragging. I know that comes from just,
No, I used to be
how
the
I was
same way.
brought up
Anyway.
in ministry as a young girl, and
Mhm.
and that just stuck in my mind. And maybe whoever said that didn't really mean it that way. I gotta say that too. Maybe I just
Mhm.
articulate that way at that age, and this is why it's important to explain things to kids when we say things, because they'll have their own articulation of what you're
Right,
saying.
right.
But how I felt in that moment, it carried on into my business, where I felt like if I post, if I share, or if I talk about the things I've accomplished and the people I've helped, it's like I had like bragging and boasting and things
Mhm.
like that. So we got to get out of that mindset because that
Right,
doesn't help. People need to see that so they can come to you. Yeah.
right. So you said something, and I just want to. I know we don't want to be on here long, but we said
Right.
something I have to address.
Go ahead.
Recognition versus validation.
Right.
They're two different things.
Mm-hmm.
When you are recognized, it's because someone else is acknowledging you.
Mm.
When you're seeking validation, it's all selfish. It's what you're trying to seek to
Mm.
make you feel better about yourself.
Mm.
So recognition is something that is going to come based on service, based on you having a personal brand and you sharing value and you helping people solve problems and whatever it is that you do. Testimonials are tangible pieces of recognition, not validation. They're not there to validate you. They're there to recognize you as somebody that is an expert in solving a particular problem or presenting a particular product. So I just kind of wanted to point that out because that was really good. Because recognition is not the same as validation. And I think, not I think, I know when more people understand that, they will get out of the validation loop
That makes
because
total
they just
sense.
really want to be recognized.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be recognized,
We're still young
right?
kids, and it's still,
I'm
wanting
sure
mama,
recognized.
wanting mommy to love our little artwork.
Right, right,
We still
right,
like that. It's
right,
interesting.
right. But when you're trying to personally validate yourself
Hmm.
based on achievement, then that's when you have a problem.
Amen. Amen. This could be a whole book. I was just popped in my head, but I'm throwing it out there. But
Uh, you're
yes,
reading
I
my
love.
mind. You're reading my mind.
I love this. I love this. And I know when it comes to, like I said earlier, confidence is currency, validation. What Meiyoko said, that word, that trigger word you don't like, self sabotage, all those things that we feel that a lack of confidence and all that that's holding us back. Like I said, it's a work in progress, and all of us need help with our confidence. And go ahead and type in one in the chat if that's something you need. If you need help with your confidence, go ahead and type in one in the chat because all of us need help with that. It's not something that we just perfect. Like I said earlier, every level we reach in our businesses our confidence is challenged. So we're going to dive into that at our tour for sure. We're going to spend quite a few time on that because, as Meiyoko and I always says, 80% of what we do is self-development, and
Right. Right.
that's the invisible difference that a lot of people that coach on this level don't teach. They get into the systems, they get into the strategy, they get into the ascension model and the funnels and all these things and the logos and the colors and what you should be wearing and all that, but then you show up not as your best self. So all that money,
Right.
all that investing, all that time and trying to build this empire like a skyscraper structure gets demolished because you're afraid to even put your foot out there on stage, or afraid to hit that live button, or afraid to
Mhm.
do that discovery call with somebody who said they was interested in talking to you. So all that doesn't mean anything if you don't have the self-development piece first to show up as your authentic self. So again, we're doing a tour coming up very soon. It's called Your Brain, Your Breakthrough Evolution Tour. The link is scrolling across the screen. And we want y'all to sign up for it. We want y'all to register for it. You can come in person or you can come live. But we would love for you to come in person, okay? Because
Yes.
you get a bigger breakthrough, get a chance to really work with us one-on-one. And I think that is important. We're going to design each and every location. It's going to be unique to the individuals that's going to come. And we want you there. We want you there, right?
You need to be there.
Yes, you need to be there because it's going to be amazing. We're going to be in New York, we're going to be in Maryland, we're going to be in Georgia, and we're going to be in Texas. Okay. And everything's being in Texas. So definitely join us, be a part of it. Bring a friend. Okay. Bring a
2 of
friend.
them.
Three of it. Make it your own, make it your own little mastermind, your girls' weekend or
Nice.
whatnot, because this is a great 1 day event.
Yes,
And we
it is.
want y'all to come because Meiyoko and I, correct me if I'm wrong, Meiyoko, we believe in connecting.
Of
It's great to
course.
do all
Of
this summit
course.
stuff. It's great to do all the live
Of
stuff. I've done
course.
tons of the Meiyoko does. Check our timeline. Right? We love that, the online stuff. But more than anything, we like connecting. We like to, eye to eye, face to
Right.
face, sitting down with you, really diving in. And some of you have more difficulty than most, so you need
Right.
that in-person
Get out of that
experience.
COVID comfort zone.
Yes. Oh, yes. Get out of that. Get out of that. Get out. Don't get comfortable because that definitely is going to be holding you back. And we don't want you to sit and watch online and be like, man, you know what? I could have made it there.
Yeah. Or I could have asked the question.
You could have asked the question and really got that personal attention.
Yep.
I've been there before where I was like, I'll just watch virtual, right? No, come in person. Come in person. Get your breakthrough. And I'm telling you right now, it's definitely going to be the best event that you're going to be attending all year. Okay. So everything we discuss on this show, every topic we talk about in every episode, we dive in deeper at the event. So don't think this is it. Because I ain't going to share what we talked about before here. But Meiyoko has something that he is curating for the tour that I'm even like, I'm going to sit down while you're doing it and just watch with my notepad and everything because I'm excited about that. So definitely come. Definitely go. This is not the first event
You
Meiyoko
don't
and I
want to
did
miss it.
together. Yes, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. But definitely join us. So thank you guys again so much for joining us. We're going to be back tomorrow for another awesome topic. So bring a friend, bring a friend, bring a friend. And more importantly, head on over to bit.ly/YBYB tour
Get
and
them
register
tickets.
today. Get them tickets, get them until they run out because we're getting into June and we may have a cutoff. So don't drag your feet because we know how some of y'all are. You want to get your tickets the day of and want to ask us where's the address.
There will be a cutoff
There
date.
will be a cutoff date because I'm not trying to go crazy. So, waiting can cost you, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, you don't want that to happen. So join us. We have something special for those of you who come and attend in person. But a lot of y'all, it's a 2-hour drive for some of y'all who be on here watching. It's not even that long of a distance, right? And again, if you want to join us for multiple locations, definitely let us know. If you have a question, reach out to Meiyoko and I on Facebook. We're more than happy to answer any questions that you have in prepping for this event. All right. So thank you guys so much again for joining, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.
See you guys later.